What are you doing there?
Hey. Oh, the Kins mascot right there.
He's like, put me down.
You
This is
stop
embarrassing.
it. You agree to go live. Love it.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah. Doing well. Had a hot day on Saturday. Got out, did some conditioning and like that first 80-degree day when you get out and run hard,
That's
like
crazy. 80 degrees.
I know it had been like, 40s to 60s and then it was
Yeah.
80, so I was like I'm gonna get out and make myself tired.
We had classic Colorado weather where we had like 3 warm days in a row, like 70s, and then it like hailed and snowed the next day, the next night,
Oh,
which was nice though, honestly.
I mean, that's kind of cool. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it was chill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice, man. How's how's the week training?
things
All
are
that
going. Things are going. Practices are starting up.
awesome.
So it's really transitioning into like a new, the new phase of the season. Although like I feel like because I've been training so hard, it doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I don't know. Like the practice is definitely harder, but not like. Well, we had the one practice 2 weeks ago, the last right before we did our last call. And that one was like a longer one, and I was definitely more tired after that. Like our last practice, just being 3 hours, was like, I feel like I ran really hard and got like a really good workout in, but it's not. It doesn't feel like it like drastically is changing my like schedule that much.
Dude, I mean, that's a great sign that you've prepared so well because, like, it's always going to be up a notch a little bit in intensity when practices and other stuff starts. But if you feel like it's not that much, you're so far ahead of the curve because so many people start like preseason or whatever, and it's like they go from here to here overnight.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good. So I took a rest day yesterday, but I was really good about like getting some lifts in because I went down to Pueblo to teach some high school ultimate. So my
Nice.
week was really good because I got like a heavy week in on Monday, a heavy lift in on Monday, a lighter one in on Tuesday, or vice versa, but I can't remember. But either way, one the other. And then Wednesday and Thursday I did 2 field workouts. I did oh no 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 sorry, that was Sunday and Monday I did the lifts. That was right after practice.
Okay.
Tuesday I did just a sprint workout, like the sprint workout that you have. So it
Hmm.
wasn't that much, but it was like chill. And then Wednesday I did conditioning.
Oh, awesome.
I did God, my week, I'm trying to remember my week. Cuz then Thursday we played mini.
Okay.
Friday I took it chill.
It's probably a good call.
Cuz then we had practice. So then Saturday I played. Yesterday also chilled. And because yesterday, because Atlas had an upset stomach, so I didn't sleep like at all because he kept having to go out. So I didn't sleep. So yesterday I just like slept during the day. Really, I got like a little taste of your medicine. I'm sure like you're like yeah, it's like every night.
It's good. We were yeah, talking about that because our dog is like they go through regressions and it's like now she like cries in her sleep and up like literally get up out of bed like 20 times in a night and I'm like,
Oh my god. No, I actually like thought of you because I only got up like 6 times, I would say, because he just kept having like he just kept having to go to the bathroom or he threw up
oh
once. But one, I was so proud of him because he kept doing it outside. Like he would just tell me, and then he would go outside. So I was like, all right, you kind of get it. So I'm
yeah,
like, I can't be mad at you at all, obviously. And
right.
then, but I was like, I thought of you because I thought of being like a parent. I'm like, this is like every night for them.
Dude,
I just can't
it,
imagine because I was just slept the whole day. The next day I just slept. I had
yeah.
work at 4, and I never do that. I literally just stayed in my bed until like 2, just
Yeah.
slept because I was so tired.
I mean, it's like I've had a client say like, "Oh, I ask how they're doing. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. It's been rough with sleep." And they're like, "Oh, I shouldn't say anything because you're a parent." I'm like, "Listen, it's all relative because like a year ago, if I had been waking up 4 or 5, 6 times in a night, I would have been destroyed too. It's
Yeah,
we adapt to whatever. So
yeah,
it's
totally.
not optimal, but
Right.
I think like especially given how much you're training, like." yeah, if you can sleep, get it in, you know?
Yeah. 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 And since I've been doing, I had a really good week of training and practice and everything. So I was like, it's fine to, just happens, it's like, wasn't like a part of the plan or whatever, but it just happens. And there you go. And then today I'm going to go in the hot tub here and then I'm going to go back and like get my bike in and do a little workout. Cause there's the one thing I did notice like not like painful or anything, but I noticed like that spot in my knee where I have the cartilage issue.
Hmm.
I could like feel it, just like not it wasn't like painful or just like anything like that, but I could just like sense it, like that there's a little bit of whatever inflammation in that, like it's like the inside spot of my knee. And so I just want to like stay on that cuz like really like in season it's like just managing that cuz I know that like it could not that it gets like really bad ever cuz I think how I take care of it, but I know like in the future it could get bad or whatever. So I just know that I have to keep doing my biking and maybe I have to get back on the supplements because I haven't been doing the supplements. Maybe I need to get back making sure I
Yeah.
doing my like joint pills and more collagen routinely again.
Yeah, man, that could be a good call. I think like generally the stuff that works that you found works, just being consistent with it. Obviously, like stuff like the isometrics. I just made a post on different knee isometrics.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah, just like different versions because like sometimes depending on how they're feeling, certain positions don't feel awesome. So um, I like that's a thing I think I shared. I do that every night. Like I go kneel
Yeah.
and like 20, 30 seconds, 2 or 3 sets every single night.
That's your half kneel one.
That's the
The
half.
like
So I actually do. So I'll show you here. So I actually do it in here. I come in here. I
mhm.
do the kneeling. So I go here, and then I'll push.
Yeah, I want to start doing those. I'm gonna
So
start doing
this is nice because it's super efficient, and you can just like go like, okay, I'm gonna hover my butt like an inch off my heels,
them.
hold it
Uh-huh.
for 20, 30 seconds. You can also make it super intense, so I can
By
push
pulling.
and
Yeah,
pull.
I've seen that.
I actually so that's like my bare minimum. I'll do 2 or 3 sets. What I like doing here is I'll go to get like hip flexor. I'll go here.
Oh, crazy up on it.
My foot is back here, and I'll go like this, and then I get a big stretch, push.
Yeah.
Then, so this is what I did last night. Here, then step up, so I get like a true couch stretch. Hit an ISO there,
Right.
then come down and hit the kneeling.
The kneel one. I should do that because one, I want to get back into my stretching now that it's the season because I did find that it like helps with the recovery, just the relaxing part of it, like because the stretching routine that I have like makes you just like slow down and breathe, and so like the stretching like whatever, but like the fact that I take like 20 minutes and like really breathe and relax my whole body, I just feel like was crazy for my recovery and helps me sleep. But I need to do some more stuff like that before I go to sleep and like take the time to like also wind down a little bit and then like feel good. So I'm gonna start doing that. It'll be the I'll report. I'll report on the next one how many I got in
I
because
like that.
I want to start doing that.
It's a good routine because even if you think it like for me, it's like it's late. It's like I want to get to bed, but if it's just 5 minutes, even 10 minutes, like
100%. No,
you're
it's like it's so worth it.
it is. You're gonna probably sleep better, and then over the course of like 2, 3 months, you're building up extra joint health and mobility.
Yeah, and I'll do some cars if I haven't done them yet too. Just a
Yeah,
couple cars. Yeah, yeah. So that's been good. It's crazy how good I feel though.
awesome.
Athletically, like oh my god, I feel so good. Yeah, it
Oh,
is. It's exciting, and I've got some big, I've got some big stuff coming up with the season, and I mean, I'm, I'm gonna destroy. Like some of the teams we're playing early, like I feel bad, but like they're gonna get just destroyed. Like I'm gonna ruin them. There's no one that is gonna be at the same level.
well, I mean, it's awesome because like it's not like you weren't athletic before, but you're just optimizing it, and like you've got the throws obviously, so it's like pick your poison, you know, which
Yeah,
which was the case last year, but now it's just accentuated. It's like now
yeah,
they really they're screwed.
yeah, yeah. So that's exciting. The what I did have one thing I wanted to talk to you about. I've been thinking about how like I'm pretty duck-footed. Like I've always just like people always ask me if I'm like limping and stuff too. I feel like because I just like
Oh,
have
really?
that like tall person like lumber around. Like always, ever since I've been young, people always like make fun of how I walk, which is funny. Uh, but I was wondering like if you think that there are because it's kind of like whatever. So I guess my hips are like external, or my legs are like it's externally rotated. Like my feet and everything. Like I was wondering if you think that one like just what you think overall and like being duck footed, like having your versus whatever the other one, and two like if there's like mobility things that would if it is something that would and could be worked on like
Hmm.
that you would do.
Yeah, I think like it's sometimes it's a symptom of something you want to change. Sometimes it's kind of your natural like resting posture, which is not always bad.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
like the big thing you want to make sure is that like because sometimes people end up being sort of duck-footed because their body is trying to like escape dorsiflexion.
Uh huh.
Like if you don't have good flexion in your ankle,
Hmm.
and as you start to bend, when you go to push off too, your body instead of that is going to turn out so that you don't have to use your big toe or your ankle as much when you go and you bend and push.
Uh huh.
I would make sure that like you're able and comfortable with, like those part of the reason we do the dorsiflexion, like roll and peel. Uh,
Yeah.
Sometimes what I do, being the weirdo I am, I used to do this. I remember doing this on campus at Penn State when I was like 22. I'd walk and I would consciously push through the ball of my foot, and I would feel my.
Yeah.
And so you can practice and see how that feels, and just make sure like there's no like restriction there in your big toe, in the ball of your foot.
Uh huh.
That being said, like we all have our own strategies. So like if you look at LeBron James, if you look at, I remember there's a number of football players you can see too, and that like when they run and they sprint, oftentimes they're kind of like this, and
Uh
it's
huh.
like for some people it can be an issue. For a lot of people, that's just how they move best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like doing the 90-90, if you notice, like your internal rotation is much worse. I
Because
would
my hips are super open.
okay.
Like when I do a pigeon, like I can get all the way in that shit. Like fully just like
Gift
feel.
Studios, by the way,
Oh hell yeah.
sent
I
me
think
a
I have one at my house that I like to use too. I think.
but yeah, so your hips are all the way open, and so like that's another thing where if you have a really big difference between like external and internal rotation,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so like if you're able to like get into a big stretch, yeah, I mean if he wants to talk, is it
Yeah. Hey, Atlas. He's so bored right now, dude. He's like,
we're on the combo? Atlas, do you want to log in and join the chat?
look at Atlas, bro. This is it. He's like so bored.
Just relaxing. There you go, buddy. Um, but yeah, if you're like in the 90-90, if you can stay like pretty upright and like
Uh
really
huh.
load up this, which
Yeah.
my guess is you probably can.
Yeah.
I would focus more on the internal rotation, getting
That's
that.
what I'm thinking I should do is focus more on some internal rotation because yeah, like my hips and all that are super open, but I think from especially when I was really doing the mobility a lot, that my internal rotation was a little bit worse. So, which I feel like is that normal though? Because I feel like it's harder.
It's not uncommon. I think it's harder. It's also more awkward. So like
Yeah,
the like positions like this are like more mainstream. So
yeah,
people don't usually. Some people do, but people don't usually sit in like an internally rotated position.
mm-hmm.
So like you could do isometrics here, you know, go here, press down, even just spending more time. Like I'll this is my harder side,
Uh
so
huh,
I'll sometimes post up on the couch and I'll have my laptop just here and just chill there a little bit. Then I'll do some isos, some lifts.
yeah, yeah. I think I'll add some more internal rotation isometrics into my routine because I've been liking trying to. I added like the soleus ones into my just like workouts. Like
Awesome.
I did a couple, like we talked about, like I did a couple of the calf raises, and I mean I haven't felt anything. I don't know if I run a lot this week, so but like I don't know. So either I didn't reach the load that it would hurt, or in my one couple sessions of doing a few calf raises and some isometrics helped out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna actually. I think we talked a little bit more about like isometrics. I'm just getting up a. Yeah, so this is you can find like. Whoa, whoa. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna put this in the chat. I know a few people are out here. You can feel free to chime in, folks. If you
yeah.
got
Where's
questions.
our active chat? We had the craziest, most
I
active.
know.
We were on
Andre
such an
was on
upstream.
there.
Yeah, we were on such an upstream last time. Our last one, our
All
chat was so active. Where the heck?
right.
The hell is everyone?
So I just put a link for this is Keith Barr, who's done a lot of research on isometrics, with the Eric Cressy, who is like a pioneer in some strength and conditioning. I learned a lot of stuff from him back in the day. But he talks about like why isometrics work so well, and it addresses the weaker parts of our tendons, really good for inflammation. So anyway, I think it's great that you're adding those in, especially for the Achilles. Like, biggest tendon in the body. If stuff goes wrong with that, even if it's minor, like it's going to be a problem later in the season.
Someone was asking me. I think some like high school kid was asking me what the most common ultimate injury was the other day when I was in Pueblo. What do you think it is? If you had to just, I mean, it's hard. And then you're like injury, like you're like you
Injury
can
versus,
like
I think like from because I get messages from like tons of people, and then I ask questions when people join my memberships, like or communities, like, hey, what motivated you to join? Knee pain is huge. So
yeah,
some
dude,
knee pain, and then like,
dude. Oh my God, knee pain, especially as you start getting older.
dude,
There's
it's
no way you're not getting freaking knee pain. You run so much.
yeah, yeah, and that's the real thing with this is that we've sort of talked about before that like it's not movement and exercise is good for you. Sports are not inherently good for you. Ultimate, better than not doing anything, but like it's not good for the human body. So that's why we have to train. So like shin splints and like Achilles tendinopathy, tendinitis, some
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because the tendonitis and the tendinopathy, whatever you want to call it, is. I just feel like during the season, it's like everyone is dealing with that shit.
so true. It's so
Like
true.
that's.
Plantar
You know,
fasciitis.
I wonder what in other sports.
Lynn
Oh,
said,
what's up, Lynn? Lynn's back.
"What
Let's
up, Lynn?" Lynn's
go.
another
Howie, stop it.
hamstrings. That's true too. Hamstrings.
Dude,
So,
that's the other one I was gonna say because there's a few of my guys from Bird and stuff. They are just
yeah,
they are in the hamstring cycle.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm working on creating another video, just like a collection of all kinds of different hamstrings isometrics. Because
Yeah, dude, they need that like the help. Like it's always and then it becomes such a mental thing because I can't imagine. But like when they get so scared because I guess it happens like pretty suddenly,
yeah,
you know. So then you're just like
you're
you
sort of
just
like
kind of have this like trauma around it. Like there's like kind of how we were talking about the mental component, and then there comes that component because since they're just running, and then all of a sudden like it'll just kind of do like you're like that sounds terrifying. Like honestly, it's
right,
not so. You add the whole like physical, like you want to work and come back, but then there's this mental side of you're just kind of scared. And then how much does that affect how you're moving and doing all this stuff? Like who knows? I don't know.
right, yeah. Um, Lynn says it's been a while, but I'll only be here shortly since I'll do a sprint workout in 15 minutes. That's what I like to hear.
I mean,
Hey,
that's a fine excuse. Like that's fine. If
it's
if
I
you're
like
gonna
it
miss if you're missing it for the workout,
for
that's
sure.
fine.
So that's another thing with sprinting. So I'm just kicking off some preseason programs and this new Ultimate Mobility Pro thing. But like the idea is like people can join and then you can pick it up. But one of the things I'm like figuring out how to communicate this, and this is important for everybody. Like if you have not been sprinting, you do not want to jump into max intensity sprints. So we've talked
Right.
about tempo runs, do some tempos, do some stuff where you're
Mm-hmm.
warm up really well, build up to like 60, 70, 80% speed and see how you feel.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't sprinted in a while, don't just go out and sprint.
Unless
Work
you're like 12. then you're
Well, yeah,
fine.
yeah, exactly. If you're good and you're running around, yeah, exactly.
Or you're Atweez. Atweez runs around. He doesn't warm up.
Yeah. And Lynn says I have to restart with stuff now again. And Lynn, you put in a lot of good work before, so it's not like you're starting from scratch. But I would still like if you're going out, um, take a while to build up to full sprints. Maybe not today. Quinn asked me when we did a call with some of
Right.
the Bravo guys about if I'm sore and I'm going into a practice or a second day in a row, what to do.
Yeah.
Like A, like some of those nice moderate isometrics, and B,
Yeah.
just take extra time to warm up. Even after a normal warm up, doesn't even have to be specific. Like just move for an extra 5 or 10 minutes to get things going. 'Cause that's a big issue. I ran into this. I've had a lot of people run into it where like their hamstrings are sore, and then they end up pulling something.
Yeah. You know what I think would be valuable, speaking of warm up too, which is funny because we're talking about doing a good warm up. But there's a couple situations where, like, I love my warm up, like I've talked about so much. Like, it's my favorite thing, like going and doing my full warm up with my headphones on. But then there's some situations, whether it's like a mini or something, where it's like you're a little late and you just want to do like a quicker one. You know what I mean? Maybe like a 10 fit, like really just like a 10-minute like warm up. But I
Yeah.
don't have anything like I don't have like a routine for it, you know. And it's nice
Right.
having that routine, like knowing what you're gonna do. So maybe something to think about for a little content. I would love a little BNev like you're late abbreviated warm up
Yeah.
because just like having that routine is so huge. But then I'm in the bind where I'm like, I don't have the time to do my like when people are already playing. It's like,
Yeah.
I just want to
It's
get
hard. You show up and you're like, and like I'm gonna be honest.
like,
Like,
okay, go.
no, for like with summer league in Philly, as you know, it's a big deal. It gets pretty competitive. It's pretty fun. I usually show up early and I do like a full warm up every single time. So
Yeah.
I'm like
That's
sprinting.
not what you want to see, dude. That
I'm,
is not what you want to see
you
when
show
you
up to
pull
the
up at
field.
6:30 for that six
Yeah,
o'clock game.
yeah. I like other people have shown up to the field like at game time, and I'm already done my warm
Yeah,
up and
yeah,
sprinting.
yeah.
And but like there were a few times where for whatever reason I was like a few minutes late, and I'm like, all right, like I'm just gonna get my body a little bit warm. And because
Right.
like we talked about with you, because you spend the time on the mobility, on the warm ups, on taking care of yourself, when you're in a pinch, you can get by with a short warm up or just like kind of getting right into it.
I noticed that getting really angry helps me too. Like, if something, just think about something that really pisses you off. All of a sudden, there's no need to warm up.
Right. You just get, it just naturally increases that
I'm
body.
just already on fire.
So that's what you do. If you're on the way to the field, you're running late, get yourself real angry. Your body
No,
heat.
that actually happened to me right before practice, and it was honestly terrible. I was having such a good day, and I had this phone call that really pissed me off before practice. And literally, I was like, I don't even need to warm up. I just want to sprint there
Yeah.
and back a couple
Yeah.
times, and I'm like good to go. I'm grabbing Atlas something to freaking bite
Yeah.
really quick.
In the meantime, Lynn played the first time outside last Saturday and managed to do a layout catch. Did hurt a bit, but I was so hyped. I love it. I love it. You laid out. Sounds like you're okay now, so you didn't injure yourself, but that's awesome. Being able to get outside and feel confident to lay out, love that. Whew. But yeah, an abbreviated warm up's nice because like if you kind of have what you want to do,
Yeah,
then you're like, okay, rather than trying to decide in the moment what to do, you're like, I know my long warm up, and then here's my short warm up.
yeah,
What I do.
yeah. Yes, I think that'll be good. I would love. I'm gonna be waiting on that being abbreviated.
I love it. I can definitely do that. I can
Yeah.
definitely do that. And yeah, I was trying to think of something else, but yeah. Yeah, sometimes what I'll do, like I did this last year when I was getting out to the field more, and it was hot out too, like it's 95 degrees on the turf, and I get out to the field. Makes it a little easier. So I used to do like shuttle runs as a warm up to like gauge how I'm feeling.
Uh-huh.
Not full speed, but like 50 yards and back 2 times,
Yeah.
and then just be like, all right, that feels pretty good. And then I get into a little bit of a warm up. But like again, the healthier you are, the more consistent you are,
Yeah.
you can get away with sometimes just like doing whatever you feel like.
Lynn, what's going on with the motivation? Where is it at? What do we need to do
Oh,
to get
yeah.
that motivation up?
Starting slowly again. So I like that you're starting. Like that's good. That's good. This is a big deal because like motivation comes and goes, especially different times of the season. Like you get done a big tournament, you come down a little bit, you're exhausted.
You and me could be such a good, like good cop, bad cop.
Just like just stay motivated. What's wrong with you? Like okay, this happens.
This is good. You could be smiles take you miles, and I could be like frowns down or something like that.
Browns hold it down.
Yeah, frowns hold it down.
Okay, five out of 10 motivation is not bad. Here, like again, like the consistency is huge because then it's just what you do. It's just you don't consciously think about it because motivation is never going to be perfect. And like the most disciplined people, it's not because they're always motivated. It's because like they've they've got the right habits and they've established them. Usually during periods of high motivation, you reinforce the good habits so that when it dips, it's that habit's sticky. Versus like if you have low motivation, it's very hard to kick things off.
Hmm.
Same with environment too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Brad, do you have any like ultimate mobility swag?
Ooh, I'm working on some. So I have a
You
couple.
gotta get me some.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Cause I'm going international soon, and we gotta bring the
Awesome.
ultimate mobility so I can like warm up in it and stuff. You know,
I
and
love
wear
it.
it around.
I
I
love
want
it.
to be that mobility, uh, uh, the mobility.
Ambassador or mobility
No,
missionary.
the mobility missionary. I want to be the mobility missionary. I'm going
Funny kind of
across
like
the pond. I'm going
I like
across
it.
the pond.
That'd be. I'll have to get you some. I ordered some like testing it out, and like I didn't like where the logo is placed, so like
Okay,
I got to get some more. But I'll
give
send
me
you.
give me the test one. Give me the test one
All
for
right,
now.
you got it.
Cause I go away in like the end of May. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna leave the end of May, and
Yeah.
I want to bring some ultimate mobility stuff.
Yeah.
Mobility mascot. Yeah, I mean mobility mascot is good, but
Uh, yeah.
doesn't have that converting factor that we're looking for. Like we're really trying to shed the light of mobility.
That's right. We gotta now. I gotta brainstorm that. Do some different branding, but
Yeah,
we
we're gonna like baptize you in like a 90-90. Like you go into a 90-90 and there's the water there and you like have to
you actually
dip
need
down.
to have the right amount of external rotation to be able to do that. You know,
Right, right. That's what I'm saying.
pulse,
Yeah,
you gotta like,
yeah, exactly.
and
There's
then
like some water.
external rotation's a lot harder, but.
Yeah, no, you just the
Yeah,
other
man.
one.
What's cool in the communities on school is like you can there's a map now so you can see where all the members are at. So like
Yeah.
I would
Well,
love.
who we were talking to, was that Anka was in the who was
Yeah,
in?
I think so.
Because I'm about to go on a huge Euro tour. I'm going to. Well, I'm so happy in this room that I'm in right now. There's this sick world map, which is actually like super helpful for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to Brussels, so I'm playing Elite Invite, which is like the European Pro Champs, and I'm
Nice.
playing with Gentle, which
Okay.
is like the second Belgium team, but they're a good team in Europe. So I'm playing with them for Elite Invite, and I'm gonna play with them in the Euro Championships too. So
Nice.
I'm doing that. Then I'm going to Poland for the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships. And I'm getting on a team for that. I'm working on the team that just won in Spain. But I'm trying to get on a team for that. And then we have the London Invite, which is where I'm going to play for the super team.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm going Brussels, Poland, London.
Whew. I've got a bunch of people in my memberships in Europe, so we'll get you the ultimate mobility swag, and I bet we get some people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm just gonna be wearing it on stream, warming up in it. I got like some different because I got my pod stuff to wear. I got my ultimate mobility, got my home force, which is my Nulty out here.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to rep. Where in Brussels? Well, I'm flying into Brussels. I need to buy my flight to Brussels, but the tournament is in. I'm not gonna say it right. It's like I don't know, dude. I don't know how to say it. Begins with an L.
All right, that's
It's Leuven. I think it's a Leuven. Leuven, Belgium, which is exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm going on the Europe tour. I want to
Yeah, so
we're
Lindsay,
gonna we're gonna
you're
we're
running
gonna
it.
show them what it takes, all this mobility work. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh,
There's who else is in my guy Willem Garnier. He was in Smile Performance Program like the very first or the second version, and been crushing the mobility. So
Lynn
maybe
says also in Europe.
yeah, there we go. We got a lot of
Lynn,
Europe.
where are you at in Europe? What? This is
Are you
crazy.
are you Luxembourg, Lynn? I see like sometimes I see people in the memberships where they're from. Uh, I don't always remember everybody, but I try to keep tabs where I can. It's cool. It's cool to see. Hopefully,
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. It's crazy that you're world renowned.
trying to get there. I had a dude back in. I had the Smiles Take You Miles shirts, and I like
Uh-huh.
sent off some tanks for my like original mobility membership way back in the day. And a guy on Instagram who I had met at a seminar was like in where was he? I mean, it wasn't another country, but he was in New England. And he was in a gym, and a guy saw his shirt. He's like, "Oh, I know that guy," or something like that. I'm like, "That's the goal." Except instead, it would be like, "I do my cars, I do my isometrics." Just get people doing the good stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
studying in Germany.
nice. Studying in Germany. That's that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. I've never been to Europe too, so and I have like so it's gonna be like 3 weeks, three back to back weekends of playing, and then just I have no plans for in between, so I'm just gonna be doing whatever the fuck I want, like cruising in between. We'll see where the wind takes me. I'm sure it'll be exciting.
I feel like that's actually nice that like you won't have like practice or the extra wear and tear in between because like that's a lot in 3 weekends. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll be nice, but nah, it's gonna be it's honestly I like can't wait. The problem is I'm like too excited for it. You know, you gotta just like prepare as much as you put the energy into like preparing. But I'm just like so excited. When we have a great break in the summit season, like we have a break from May 30th to June 20th. So I'm only gonna
oh
miss
wow.
one game. I wasn't gonna miss any games, and then I decided to go to the Elite Invite and play on the on Gentle.
Hmm.
So now I'm gonna miss one game, but still like one game in the for the summit season, which hopefully will be longer this year too, because I think I like our odds of making the playoffs this year and having a deeper run. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just one game will be
Got
good.
some new players that
Yeah,
have
we're looking. Yeah, we
that's
look
awesome.
really good. Our practices are exciting. I think we picked up a lot of new people. We've got like some young people from Colorado who are hungry. We picked up like obviously Keenan
I
from
saw that.
Oakland,
Yeah.
Zach Slayton from Texas.
Okay, cool.
He's really good. Yeah, and they've been working. Especially the Denver crew has got like a really nice. It makes me jealous. Now I'm like, I've always loved Boulder, but the Denver squad is getting together a lot and working out, which is pretty cool to see. Doing like track and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. With
Cause
Mikey.
Grant, yeah, yeah. Well, Grant was the one who like came in and was doing these just like crazy track workouts all the time, and then when people were just like, "So okay," because obviously, I mean, Grant just made his third World Games team, so you're like,
Yeah. Doing something right.
"Yeah, definitely, definitely,
Oh man.
yeah."
Yeah.
Makes me want to do that.
It's so and there's a balance. So whenever I hear like if you build up the volume of work you're doing with like track and other stuff, that's great. If like you're doing it with high focus and high intent. And the
Yeah,
higher level you're at, the more you can get away with things that like aren't ideal. Cause it's like if you're already fast and you're already in good shape, like I can go out and do a workout that's not the most effective and like I'm just maintaining what I have. For speed, like you need to stay fresh. And it's always a good reminder seeing some elite athletes where like you take an elite sprinter and like every sprint they do, it's going to take more out of them than for you or me because like they just have the capacity to push harder. But like they might rest 10 minutes in between sprints. Um,
Grant does a crazy one, and he's like 38 or whatever, 36. I don't know. He's up there,
woo,
old
he might
30s.
be, he's almost as old as, or maybe he's about my age then.
Yeah, he's up there, and he does The one he was doing at least was, but and also Grant was like a travel player for us, so I
Hmm.
don't know like if he was practicing full time, whatever, how much he would do it, but like he's not practicing as much, so he can just have these as like his like really hard running days. But
Yeah.
he'll do like 8 200s, and he'll do a 200, 30-second rest, another 200, and then like a 5 minute break, like a long break.
Got it. So it's
So he'll do one, another one really quickly, and then a long break, and then he'll do like 4 sets of that or whatever.
yeah. So that's good prep, and like again, that's more conditioning. Like that's not how you build speed, but that's very effective for like the fatigue resistance.
And
And
he's in
that's
great shape. Like he covers
yeah.
ground on the field,
Oh yeah,
and
I've
he's quick, obviously too.
right, and that's probably it's interesting because that's similar to like what I did last year was like higher volume stuff. For me, it was like I was preparing for U.S. Open and I didn't have like the other wear and tear. So it's the same idea of like I have extra energy to expend without the wear and tear. So in the middle of a season and like you're practicing, you're playing, probably not ideal to be doing like really high volume track
No,
workouts.
no.
But I mean that is effective if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely super effective. It's like it was eye opening because like when he plays, like he's just able to run so much and
Yeah.
obviously fast that you're like, wow, okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, we should get like different guests on to talk about their. Now that I'm thinking,
Fun.
like we really should like we should just get different guests on to go through their like training thing,
I think that
like
would be
just
fun.
pure training focus. Like we can get some of the big dogs too. Like we could get like Antoine on and just like the
Yeah.
people that like you know
Yeah. I'd love
and
that.
start doing it. I think that would be good for the stream
I
is
agree.
getting more of that.
I think that would be fun. If anyone in the chat has ideas for people to get on here, I think that would be great. We can, yeah, we can get them on because,
I mean, Grant would be a good one for sure because I
yeah,
know he's having consistent. Antoine definitely would be good.
yeah,
Uh,
I think that'd be great.
who else are the like giants of working out? Like Kayla.
Yeah,
Like I know, yeah,
yep,
people just like train really hard.
that's what it's about.
Cause especially like Grant, Kayla, they're older in their careers and still just putting in like
Right. And that's what you want to see is like, yes, there are outliers, but like what is the stuff that works and like what can you look at as trends that work for more people? Because like part of the challenge is like people will do something and they'll be very successful, but it's not necessarily because of exactly what they do. It's like
uh,
they're going to be successful no matter what. Or like
right.
they're working hard and it works for them. And that's for like for me with the mobility stuff, it's like I know
Uh,
fact that works for everybody.
mhm.
Certain strategies might or might not, but it's cool to see like if you're, if people are 20, if someone's 20 and they're in great shape and they're fast and all that, like you can get that by doing nothing. I'm not
Yeah,
saying you do. I'm not saying
but sometimes for
I'm not
sure.
saying a 20-year-old doesn't work, but there are a lot of 20-year-olds, 21, 22-year-olds who like can get by, be in great shape and super healthy and fit and athletic without
Mm,
doing smart things. That's
yeah,
how I was. I worked really hard, but it was stupid. So when you see someone who has been doing it for a long time and has come back from injuries and all that to play at a high level, they're clearly doing something right.
yeah, because that longevity piece too is super appealing to me, especially like I want to play till I'm like fucking. I want to be like Bron. I want to be like 40 and
Yeah,
still playing well if I can.
dude,
Why not? Because it's fun. I love playing at the highest level.
it is. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be good. We'll start lying. We'll start lining them up. I'll reach out. I'll reach out to some people for sure.
I think that's a great call, and yeah, I'm always excited about that stuff, and also like it would be fun to do in person stuff because eventually, especially as my stuff grows, like, and I can see in my memberships in my communities, I can see where people are concentrated. Like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll hop
The in
on.
person would be sick. I would love like in person pods. You'd have to be. You'd have to be out of. No, you don't have to do anything honestly.
Yeah.
Because the in person pods are where it's at. You can get to hang and it'd be
Oh
way
yeah.
more fun. It would be way more
I
fun.
was thinking about. I was going to talk to you and Mikey about potentially doing like if I end up making it to Masters Nationals this year, like try to do some sort of workshop or seminar like before
No, we definitely would have to do something. Like we
yeah
would have to do some sort of shit for
yeah
sure, because that's in Colorado.
yeah
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
in like
We would
Aurora, so
we would have to do something definitely.
yeah, that would be I could
And
get
at the very least, an in-person pod. Because that's what's too cool too is like I let we do the guests on the pod, but this could be more focused on just the training part. Like it's like just like the pod is different. The pod is like your whole life story, which is also appealing in other ways. But this could be
right.
like just the training
It's
piece
like
of it.
yeah, that narrow focus of
Yeah.
yeah, and like it's so important, and I think some people gloss over like there's a lot of great programs out there, and there's a lot of like great and like you guys do this on the pod. You have a lot of people on. There's other people who like talk about strategy and like how to improve your throwing and how to improve whatever else. But like if you are not physically healthy and you don't have the components to move well, everything else is going to be harder. Like everything. It's like it's yeah, it's like you're on hard mode.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like there's a lot of just interesting variables to it. Like most people have a job.
Hmm.
It's very common for. It's like it's not common. It's like 95%
You have to
of
fund your
ultimate
life.
players have a full time job that they're
Hmm.
doing. And then it's also, I would say, there's slowly more people trying to do like just focus more on ultimate. So there's like this aspect of like, how do I get the most out of workouts while, you know, trying to have a job and all this. And then there's like this new, somewhat more like unexplored frontier of like, okay, if I have all this time to just focus on preparing myself for what I want to do, so that's really cool too, because we're kind of, and I feel like I'm seeing more and more of that too, especially like with some of these younger guys. Like, oh my God, you know who would be good? You know who will get on? Would be good is Elliot, the young kid who lifts him. Elliot Bonet, the French kid. You know him
Oh,
for DC, and he actually has. That'd be really good because him and Tobe would be really good to get on, because Elliot has like a little. They both have like a little training thing that they're trying to start up. So that
oh,
would be good to bring on some of the youngins and
give them
like
some
talk.
more exposure too.
And I know Elliot is doing like I've seen Elliot do some really impressive stuff in the gym. So I
Nice.
wonder what his
Working on
background
stuff
is
now. Yeah.
with training, because he's doing like pretty. I think he's doing like impressive like cleans and stuff. So he's like has some serious like experience
Yeah.
in the gym.
That
Yeah.
is cool. We could also have, if there's anybody out there who's like dealing with pain or stuff, like have
Yeah, yeah,
someone
yeah.
on do like a
We can get both sides.
do like a spotlight troubleshooting, like, hey, let's dive in. Like, here's what we would do if you were my client or
I
whatever.
like that. I like that because we can get like the elite level and like see what they're doing, but we can also just get your
Yeah.
people who are going to summer league and get shed a little light on like the everyday struggles of like someone who like wants to be in like pretty good shape for like a summer league or like a regionals level team or whatever, and
Yeah.
maybe and just like how to like optimize that schedule too.
Right. Right.
Kind of just like workshop. It'd be fun. Yeah,
It'd
that's a
be
good
fun.
idea. We should
And
do
really,
that.
really all levels, because it's like I like
Yeah, yeah.
even you see people in the
Kids, we get
highest
some
level.
kids.
Yeah, yeah. For
Kids scare
sure.
me though. I don't want to tell kids what to do. Like you have too much of your future ahead of you. Like
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
and for real, like kids should be doing just everything. Like go run and climb, play football, basketball, whatever. Just like
When do you
develop
think that
lots of skills.
changes? You know what I mean? Like when do you become from that mind? Because I'm like, there's a certain level of like, we should probably just be doing that too. Like we sometimes we
Oh,
let go of all this like fun, like how we
right.
were talking about like the fun stuff. Like
Yeah,
we let go of like all that stuff we used to do as a kid because you feel like you have to be an adult. Like just like
yeah.
bench press. Like
Oh,
what if you just want to, you know what I'm saying?
what if you just like never stop crawling in all kinds of different ways? Like your
Literally.
chest and your shoulders going to be developed, and you'll have it in different angles, and not just like here. Toby DeCrane would be a fun guy to talk training with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
says
agree,
yeah.
Leonard. Yeah, for sure. But like in theory, it's like our biology is evolved for hunter gathering basically, and like walking, crawling, squatting, lifting things, climbing, all that stuff, and like as a 5-year old, like we probably do that, and then we start to get more and more organized and regimented in our lives.
And
We start
boring.
and boring, absolutely, and like and we start to lose the physical capacity. So in theory, yeah, I should be able to go and like run and sprint without a warm up, and I should be healthy. But by the
Yeah.
time we're like 10 or 15, like we've already lost mobility, we've lost function. So that's
Hmm.
where like if you do a wide variety of activities for as long as possible, you're going to be the best physically prepared. And like
Yeah.
then you give yourself the chance to find something you really like, then you can
Hmm.
hone in. But it's like a lot of people play frisbee year round and nothing else, or
Yeah.
baseball year round and nothing else, and you just wreck yourself mentally and physically.
That's what I really liked about Hawaii was, and like Levka was a big inspiration. Was like it was just so much fun to like run around, climb shit, fucking just feel like a little kid, like swimming in the water, like
Yeah,
that type of shit, and just like having fun with it though, like playing games with it or whatever.
I
That
love
was
that.
just so much fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a blast. It was like very eye opening because yeah, we get older and we're just like we stop doing that stuff, and then you also realize like all the stuff that like you really most enjoy was the stuff that you really loved when you were a kid too. You know what I mean? Like there were some games that like this one game that I started playing in Hawaii that there's not enough freaking trees in Colorado, but we called it just like the log game. But it was like you would just like square off against someone on a log, and so it was like a balance game, and you had to put your hands behind your back and try to like almost like you knock them off, whoever is off the log
Yeah,
first. But I really want to play that more with people because I had no one in my weight class, and I was just plus I was just crushing everyone.
yeah.
It wasn't fun. It was too easy. But
It's
like that shit is such a blast. We don't
it's
do it enough anymore.
and you can add. So I should make a whole course. I can make a whole thing on all the stuff. I used to my roommates in college like they'd be sitting watching TV, and I had a medicine ball and I would stand on it and balance. And I would try to. I had like shorts on and then sweatpants on
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
My goal was to take my sweatpants completely off so I could on the
Right, and that's so much fun. You have like this challenge. It's like
and you're focused
coordinated.
on that. And like
Yes.
I would just do that while everyone else is sitting still. Or like I
Yeah.
had pong balls and I would throw them off the wall so that I could catch it in the corner of the room and I'd do a fadeaway shot into a cup. Like an
Dude.
hour for an hour while everyone else is sitting on the couch.
Yeah, dude,
That's
Toby and I had the most intense game of mini hoop basketball in his house.
I love
It
that.
was in. I mean, we almost broke his house. Like paintings falling, like walls are getting. I like
That's the good
smacked
stuff.
the shit out of my foot like multiple times. Like I was like beat up after. It was like after. No, it was after our culture day. So we had like played some football, but we hadn't like played practice. But yeah, we played mini hoop in his house, and it was so much fun. We played like a few games, and it's like that type of shit though. That it's like
Yeah.
you know,
That's
it's
you
just
just never want to lose
enjoyable.
that because like and
No, you
like, that's
don't.
what also happens with ultimate is like people will get to a point like they have a career they have whatever or even if like they're focused on ultimate they'll go to practice they'll go to tournaments and other than that they don't do anything aside from their specific ultimate training or whatever it is and like we get to a point in life where we just like we stop playing and then like
Yeah.
I'm 37. I'm gonna be 38 in September, and like most people my age, they might play a recreational sport, maybe. Outside of that, their mindset is already I'm old. I'm not gonna go and play. I'm not
I
gonna go and
know.
like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I tell you last week about the old people at the park?
No.
I showed up to a field. This might have been after we talked. Showed up to a field to get a workout in with my discs. I was gonna warm up, and I saw people at the park. It was before school was out, so I was like, all right, no one's gonna be at the field. I saw them in lawn chairs, like 7 or 8 people. I was like, oh man, is there a baseball game? Like, are they gonna use my field? And so I start warming up, and like 10 minutes into my warm up, they all stand up in like a big, huge circle, like 30, 40, 50 yards apart, and start throwing a frisbee. And like they're 60, 70 years old,
Nice.
just in the middle of the day. I was like,
Nice.
"See, that's
Cool
what you don't
60 year
want to lose.
olds.
That's what you
For
don't want to
sure.
lose." Like,
For sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's true. Cause it's just so like for me, it was like playing. That's what was always so much. Like I was excited about like recess. Like
oh yeah,
it was fun. So having a dog is good for that.
it
Cause
is.
they bring that attitude. Like Atlas just wants to play. Doesn't need much going on.
No,
It's and you got to go out with them and play, and it's yeah.
and you can reinforce that. So I know some people that like they don't feel like they're as playful or creative, but you can start to do it. You can, it's like,
Hmm.
I have a rock and a stick. Oh, I'll just throw the rock up and hit it. I
Dude,
miss,
that's the
maybe like every time I miss, I do a push up. Like you just add things to it, figure out what's
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, like some sort of like challenge. You just have to be creative for it, because like that's how you make it up. It's like the log game. You just have a log. You just try to knock people off.
Right.
It's simple. It's just simple, simple, simple. Yeah, and well, that's the thing is when you're a kid, you don't need anything to have fun. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
as long as there's like, I mean, especially if you have other people there. Like me, I like other people, but you don't really
Yeah.
need anything. You just
You, yeah. I mean, again, I need to create like I have so many videos of just random, like I was doing spinning a yoga block as fast as I can and trying to catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good at that. Like you were doing the warm up with the ball, trying to throw it through the kettlebell.
Yeah, yeah. And like that's a great example of like motivation. Like I had a few sessions, I was tired and I was like, I don't feel like doing my workout. I don't feel like doing
Yeah.
and then I don't know, I just like put the kettlebell, I saw a pong ball, I was like, maybe I can try and throw this through the thing. And you just start building skills. And I think I mentioned in that post, I was like, what was really funny was I was like, I've been trying to use more shoulder in my throws and like more snap and drop my shoulder. And so
Uh,
like my submarine release just
yeah.
primed that.
It's just money.
And I was just like, and you do stuff and you start to discover like, wow, this actually has a transfer to like something else.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all just, well, and it's like using your body. You just kind of learn how to use your body, which is just a good skill. And I feel like what's hard is like you start to just take yourself so seriously. You get older and you're like, I can't just play around like a kid. But it's like, why not? Like, why can't you just like play around and have fun? Like, you gotta just like stand there like serious and like
Right.
not have fun. Like, it's just like goof off and have fun. Yeah. No, that's a really good. I like that.
It's
And
and
I'm figure something out to do with Atlas today. We'll play a fun game.
I like it. I like and like as and you'll see like you're relatively young, but like it starts pretty quickly like that you end up being the weirdo for playing. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
if I was like 27, 28, 29 and like my roommates would be around and I'm like playing Floor is Lava in our house,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like why not? Why is that and like,
I agree.
people will look at you weird and then eventually like a lot of times they'll end up joining in or they'll at least appreciate it.
Yeah, if you're having fun.
Yeah.
Because it's just like we should just be having fun more, I think that's the thing.
There's a lot of ways we can do it, and especially
Yeah.
like getting off of like some screens, and
Yeah,
it's just so
exactly.
easy to get sucked into that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like the big takeaway for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's where it's
All
at.
right, well, you got to send me some shit, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I got a note, Ultimate Mobility swag. Got to send you that, and then I have to get like a shop up too, so other people can get it. But
Yeah.
I want to test it first, and I was like,
I'll
not
be your
a
test
tester.
in Europe. I'll wear it on all the streams. I'll wear it on the streams and stuff.
Perfect. I'll have to
Warm it
get
up.
some premium logo like options done at some point. I got like
Yeah.
a more simple one, um, but I don't know if you know Nick Perifico, but he does like graphic design and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have to get him to do something at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, get some stuff and so I can get it before the end of May.
All right, I can get that to you. I can get
And
that,
then we'll figure out, maybe we'll even have a guest on next week.
dude. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. So we'll have to reach out. Yeah, if you have someone you want to reach out to, I could do that as well. I think that'd be fun. I'm sure some other names will pop up too.
I agree, Fickett. That's what we're saying, man. It's like, why not?
It has. It's taught us, man. And so I'm going to share some more stuff soon, but like Andreo Spina, Andreo Spina, he's like one of the main guys, like a main mentor that I've learned from. Like ridiculously smart, and he talks about like, you know, similar to the isometric stuff, like you have to load things to get them to stay healthy. If you don't move a joint, you don't move other things, it will decline. And like if I can't rotate my shoulder well, if it like literally does not move in its capsule and I do other stuff with my shoulder, it's not going to move. Like I have to train it. But same with the rest of our body. So like when you stop moving, you accelerate the process of aging. Um, and so like there's no reason why in like another 10 or 15 years I can't be similarly healthy and athletic. Like there's going to be some decline, but it's not guaranteed.
No, especially if you keep moving, like you don't know.
Right. And it's like people tear their Achilles all the time because like they haven't done anything athletic all year or for like 2 years.
Right.
They go and play Thanksgiving
Right.
football. And it's like it's not because they're old, it's because like they just didn't train their body.
Right. Yeah, that was really the biggest thing for me in Hawaii was like, I'd usually go on like hikes. But like me, at this point in my life, I don't want to walk. I want to run up the fucking mountain. Like I'm gonna be honest. I don't like
Yeah.
walking. It's too slow. I feel like I'm like holding back. And then you just realize that. And then in Hawaii, I was like, I'm just gonna fucking run up the mountain. And I'm gonna run down the mountain too. Like I don't care. I'll wait for you. Like I'm at the
Yeah.
bottom or the top. But like it's just way more fun. And like, cause then you're like running and you're like jumping over shit. Or like when we got to the top of this one, we had to like rock climb to a point where you could like jump in the water. Like, and it was just so much fun. Or like swimming or like, yeah, it's like, it's like whenever you're, especially when you're with your parents, like, cause I'm like a pretty good swimmer, I would say. So I always like have the urge to like swim far out into the ocean just because like I can and other people like it's just like fun. But people are always like, no, don't do that. But I was like, this time I don't care. And I swim like way far out and you're like treading water. And it's like, I don't know. It's just like an enjoyable way for me to live right now.
Yeah.
Just like pushing your body to like those different types of like things and just like playing, running around all the time.
I think it makes sense. And like the less you can care about what other people think, the better. Like I went on this road trip when I was 29 by myself. I just like traveled across the country, stopped at the Grand Canyon. It was like 95 degrees. I hiked down, like not all the way, a mile, and I ran up. Like I ran up the Grand Canyon a mile, and like I didn't get if I passed people, I would slow down. Like I didn't want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
uncomfortable, but like I was just had the biggest smile on my face. I was in toe
No,
shape.
it's
I was having like
exactly,
in my life
exactly,
because I could
exactly.
just like let go and be like, I don't care what these people think, And
No,
like more
that's
often than not, they're smiling because they're like not used to seeing people expressing that much like physical joy.
that's a huge part of it is like not caring what people think. It's like if you can just detach from that, which is a really difficult. It can be a difficult skill, but if you can do that, it's just like huge. No, I agree. Like I would just be giggling the whole time. Like I would be running down, fucking laughing, just laughing so much because it was so much fun. And what's nice for me is I like having someone to like race. You know what I
Yeah.
like what was fun about like when Levka was there is like we would like run, she was kind of like the inspiration because she would like do it and I'd be like I'm not gonna you're not gonna beat me up the mountain like there's no chance you're not beating me
Right.
down either so then it's like you're like because that's also adds the fun aspect of like you're kind of like pushing each other a little bit
Yeah.
which is then just like another I just enjoy that I like that part of it.
Yeah. It's I mean adding some competition, some like camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you compete, and then at the end you're like, high five, that was it. Like, I'm really
Yeah.
glad we did that. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
was fun. And it was cool because, like, over the trip, you kind of see some other people, like, come out of their shell and do it a little bit. And you're like, it's like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun to see that because, I used to be like extremely shy and then kind of like came out of my shell and then like I still enjoy doing stuff on my own. I like people, but I can have just as much fun
Yeah.
on my own. But part of that is like being willing and able to express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that are so stuck in like, what is this going to look like that, you just need to gradually get yourself used to like doing whatever, like what makes you happy. Do that.
Yeah. Because that's the funny thing about when you get older, and that's what I was realizing. Is like, because when you're a kid, or at least, yeah, you tend to be more of that. And then you get older and you start to develop that like part of yourself that's like you go to high school and you just like start giving a fuck about what other people think. Or like in
Right.
like middle school, you know what I mean? And then you kinda it was this cool thing, like I was talking to my friend Saeed about it the other day, because it's like this one guy we were listening to, but like you have to like unlearn to learn, which is like a cool it's just a cool way of thinking about it. Like you learn all these things and you kind of have to unlearn those things to be able to clear up your mind to start learning new things and new ways of approaching life, which is a fun way of thinking about it.
It is, and like that requires letting go of certain things.
Exactly.
Yeah, which like you need a certain level of awareness to do. But like you mentioned in high school, but even adulthood, like when people get to their 30s and stuff, it's like people are starting a family and like they have a job and like you're expected to act a certain way. And I'm
Hmm.
like screw that. I'm on my porch doing cars in the morning, like jumping around in the grass.
No, dude, it's so good, and it's actually no, it's crazy. The timing of this conversation is crazy because Della just sent me this like long thing because it was someone they one of her friends and it was one. It's like her best friend and someone they knew. Let's see, who did she say it was? So it was her best friend's mom's friend who had just died because he had cancer for like 15, and he had like wrote some stuff down. And a lot of the stuff is just like the first thing was like, live your life and do the things you want to do. Don't take life so fucking seriously, like that kind of stuff. And you just like read that because like I think like when it's something like that, like it hits so hard because like this person clearly like was thinking about this like for a long time,
Right.
and it's so hard when you don't have the that like there's like that's like an inevitable thing, I guess. So being
Right.
able to it takes time to really like focus and hone in on that. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna be working on that because
I
it
like
like feels so right when I do it and then when I live life like that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, it feels better. And like in surrounding yourself with people who like
Exactly.
appreciate that. And
Exactly.
like for me, my wife was just like very,
Yeah.
appreciative and like supportive of like I want
Right.
to go and throw stuff and run around after it or like play. And so I think that's helpful because when you have the
I
people
agree. I agree.
that support that, like they don't have to be exactly like you are, but like if they
No.
support and appreciate that that's what you do and you like.
Yeah, they won't be exactly like, but that's true because like there's the aspect of like not caring what people think, but also like surround yourself with people who also are trying to live the way you want to live. You know what I mean? Like that's just important. Like this guy.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like that's why pets can be so great. It's like, well, they like
Like
to
this
play.
guy. You
They
like
like
to
to
play.
play.
You just want to play all the time. Look at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good at that. He's starting to catch the frisbee and stuff now, so we always have like a pretty good game to play.
Oh, love that.
Big goofball.
Love that.
Hell yeah!
It's good stuff, man.
All right, well let's get a guest on
Yeah.
soon. If hopefully next week. I'm sure we can get someone on.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
hard.
We'll look for a
And we
guy.
could even do just like yeah, we'll figure it out. We're just gonna talk training with them, even if we just do like 30 minutes of it. We'll just talk training with them. We'll figure the details out, and then you got to get me some merch so that I can be a mobility missionary in Europe
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
convert people.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I'll like warm up and do some like crazy mobility stuff in
I,
the
I
shirt. It'll be
yeah.
like a free ad because then
What are
if
you
you
doing
can,
there? Yeah.
because then if you can like clip that, that'd be so funny.
Dude, that would be
Like
great.
on stream. Yeah, I'll figure that
Yeah.
out.
I've
Or
got
it
to
could
get
be
that.
like my cellies too. It could be part of my cellies.
Oh,
Could be like doing cars.
dude, I don't know if I told you about that in a couple years ago for PATA Summer League Finals. It was like I picked up with the team for the finals weekend,
Uh
and
huh.
like just went absolutely nuts. And
Uh huh.
at one point, I scored, and someone was like hip cars, so I like got down on all fours and did hip cars
Yeah.
in the end zone.
I gotta remember to do that. That'll be good.
I'll remind you. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man, that'd be fun.
All
And then
right.
most important, knee isometrics, soleus
Oh,
isometrics,
the routine before bed. I
and
got it.
advanced stress routine.
I need to add that routine before bed. That's gonna be
Yeah.
the number because that I can do tonight. The
Right,
mobility
exactly.
missionary, getting someone else we can hit up, but
Just
I
need
need
to
to do I need to do that tonight. I wanna because if I could even do my stretching and then finish with that,
Yeah, I
I'll
think
be
that'd be good.
primo. Because the other part of it is like I just want to put my phone away for longer before I go to bed. So if I can just like commit to doing these things, like even if I'm like, because I honestly think it'll be better even if I want to go to sleep,
Hmm.
you know. But if I do this stuff, so the last thing I'm doing isn't like looking at my phone and that kind of shit, it'd be really
Yeah,
good.
I think that'll help. Yeah, it extends the time. You're not looking at your phone. You get a
Right.
little mental and physical break.
Right. So
And
instead of
then-
just laying there in bed, not going to sleep, I'll just, do this, and then I'll
Exactly.
be even more ready.
Breathe a little. You don't even need to use like a timer. Like sometimes I'm just like, okay,
No, yeah, you don't need a timer.
either a stretch or like this isometric for like 5 deep breaths or something.
Yeah, I know. The breath is kind of, it's all you need. Like,
Yeah.
it feel like we always need a timer, but we really don't.
No. It doesn't-
Depending on what you're doing, like, yeah, if you're trying to like track stuff, I guess, and really be consistent, but you don't really need it.
No.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm disappointed in the chat. It was way less than last week. So, chat,
Yeah.
get your shit together.
Yeah. Leonard,
okay?
Pickett, Lynn, appreciate y'all being here.
Appreciate you. Yeah, good cop. Thanks, Brian. Bad cop. What the fuck, chat? It wasn't good enough today. And
We get, you know what? Anka is probably still in Italy. I think
Nice.
Anka. That's why she wasn't here. So
It's okay. We were so active last week. The chat was like incredibly active last week,
I
But
know.
Fickett came in strong at the end with some good
Absolutely.
societal observations. So I like that. I
yeah,
like that. And Lynn started us off hot.
that's right. So we got to get someone started. So
Yeah.
next week I'll send more send more reminders for it as
Yeah.
well. And then if you're
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're subscribed to me on YouTube, as long as the streaming's working, I think you should actually get like a notification that like it's live too.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I did. I'm loving it. I'm loving
Oh, yeah.
doing these. I'm excited for next
Yeah.
week.
Me
I
too.
got those 3 focuses. I got them. Missionary, guest, nighttime routine.
Perfect. We're there.
You know what? No worries,
Sorry
Fickett.
you were late. You were here. We appreciate it.
Even
Yeah.
bad cop is like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're excused.
Just do some cars. 5 cars. Okay. I thought it was Nelly. I wasn't sure.
I
Yeah.
was just like a different device.
Yeah.
Something. That's funny.
Appreciate you being here, Nelly, and I will see you soon in Pro. So
Exciting stuff coming.
yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Let's say bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
All right. See you later.